remaking classic songs is always difficult because fans like to complain because they have this strong impression of the original. But in your case, I think it worked perfect. So far, I have never seen any negative reviews about the Scorpions Revisited. What do you think was the key for success?
That's a very good question. I'm sure there is one key. Let's find it. Let's find it by looking at several keys, because there were several keys. At first, I was aware of the fact that the benchmark was quite high, because in my life, a lot of people have come to me and told me how much Tokyo Tapes was their influence. A lot of guitar players, a lot. To this day, I get it all the time. The people come with a record, I'm signing, you know, and they say, I can't tell you how much that album meant to me. And for me that was always strange, because to me this album didn't mean so much, because it was the last album I did, and I had already, with the Scorpions, and I had already kind of left the band, so I wasn't even involved on the mix. So when it had such a big international surprise, I was surprised, you know, because I wasn't even so happy with the sound. I was happy with the playing. I knew when we were in Sun Plaza in '78 that these shows were definitively the best that we had done with the Scorpions so far. And so I knew we had something there, you know. But with the actual album, when I heard it, I was not so happy with the sound or the presentation. I didn't like the cover, I didn't like the sound, and then I never listened to it again, you know. But all the people came and said, it's that album. So I knew the benchmark was quite high, because it's a lot of artists try to go back to their youth and do the same, the new song, the old songs, and very often they do them badly.
Yes.
Because when people get older, a lot of musicians lose the electricity or they lose the inspiration. It happens, unfortunately, you know. I didn't want that to be the case. I knew that in order to do this justice, we have to dial back into the center of each song and connect. So I needed to connect, you know, and it was also a learning process. I didn't connect by listening to the originals. I only listened maybe once or twice. I still knew how to play all this stuff, you know, so I connected in a different way. I connected in the way we did it at the beginning, because when we wrote the songs, it was always very easy. We just did it. And we changed it also a lot. Sometimes when we were playing live, we would take chances. Like even on Tokyo Tapes, I remember we did quite a lot of improvising on that stage. And every night would be different. Which is what all the bands that I prefer do, or did. Purple did that. Every night it was different. Led Zeppelin did that. Hendrix did that. Cream did that. All the ones I like did that. The bands who always play the same, I don't like so much. I get bored very quickly, you know. So I like the process of creating something, you know. And so the key to this was to get back into this frame of mind where it's completely new and fresh, and where you're taking chances. We didn't even rehearse. There were no rehearsals. I didn't want rehearsals. Very often in the Scorpions we did it without rehearsals. We had a few rehearsals, but not really so much. And the musicians in this band are good enough. They can do this. They can play anything. I send them a song list, they learn it, you know, and then we play it on stage. And that's what we did, you know. A song like Kojon on Ski, we never rehearsed. We just learned it on the stage. Klaus sang the melody to me, which he learned from a cassette tape, and I knew immediately what we could do with that. And we did it the same on this tour. We hadn't rehearsed it. Every night it was slightly different. Our drummers listened to the original quickly to know when to come in. We did that the same. But other than that, we did a completely new intro every night, improvised, and that was the spirit of it. That's how it works. If I tried to do exactly the same, it would just be a copy. And the copy is not as good as the original. And no, I wanted to go better. And I knew there's no Klaus Meine, there's no Rudolf Schenker. So it was quite hard because Klaus Meine is irreplaceable. So I didn't look for a Klaus Meine sound alike. That would have been impossible. Klaus is absolutely unique with his sound and his approach. There is no second Klaus Meine. He's only one, and there's only one Rudolf Schenker. That's for sure. So that was something that we were up against, you know, and but I deliberately looked for musicians for vocalists who was slightly different, brought something else to the table. So Nathan was that kind of guy, and also on one track we had Liz Vandell doing a great job of Pictured Live. No, it needed to be different, but we needed to stay truthful to the original spirit, and now I think that's the key. Stay truthful to the spirit. It's the essence of a song. If you tap into that, all you need to do is pour it out of the bottle and it comes fresh, because it's alive. I think you need to find the essence, and that worked, you know. Gradually also, because we did an American tour, a long American tour, which we recorded, and during that tour the songs got better and better. You know, we started learning our ways with it. You know, it was a little bit of a learning process, and I tuned back in, and then there came a point when I went beyond the old, and it became something new. That I realized that, and then I started taking it very seriously, because I thought, whoa, something new is happening, and we're going to really make a new album, and a great album with that material, which was very unusual approach. That's also why we went into the same hall that we first were in with the Scorpions, because at that place I knew it would work, and it worked, you know. So I was very happy about the decision making there. It wasn't an easy process, because it took over a year until I was happy, but then suddenly everything was easy. And there was a moment when I said, yes, that's it. We've now gone over that which I expected, and suddenly the magic started to happen in every single song. And I had the feeling I knew, that's it. And then it was easy.
Okay. So it's classic and fresh at the same time.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience for me, because I had never done something like that. It's basically the way I approach a classical piece of music, interpreting it, like the way I interpreted Metamorphosis, the Vivaldi's Four Seasons. It was similar in that respect, because I had a great masterpiece, one of the greatest of all time, Vivaldi's Four Seasons, and I needed to look at it with completely new eyes, almost like a child, you know, and it was a similar process.
Okay, for the last, could you please give the message to the Japanese fans, to the video?
To all Japanese fans?
Yes.
Which are all watching your program, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully. Yes, of course. What can I say? Well, thank you so much for receiving our album Scorpions Revisited in such a positive way, and thank you very much the audience of Japan in Nagoya and Tokyo and Osaka and everywhere else where we didn't go, because they were traveling, you know, long distance on Shinkansen. Thank you for just making it so easy for us on those stages, for giving us such a heartwarming welcome. It made a huge difference. It was almost, the Japanese audience was better prepared than we were. They knew all the songs, you could read the lips, and it was just a great experience. You know, we all loved it very much, and I'm glad that we recorded it for the DVD, you know. So, yes, wishing you a great year, and yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.